Right, let's get into it. You know what's just around the corner? The big one, El Clásico.
Ah, yes. Barcelona versus Real Madrid. It always feels massive.
It really does. Sunday, May 11th, 2025. And for those of us over here on the East Coast, that's a 10:15 a.m. kickoff.
Which is what, 4:15 p.m. local time in Barcelona? At the Estadio Olímpic de Montjuic again.
Exactly. And, this isn't just any El Clásico, is it?
No,
Yeah.
definitely not. With only 4 games left in the season, well, this could genuinely decide the La Liga title.
The stakes are just incredibly high. Looking at the table now, Barcelona's leading the pack, 79 points, 34 games played.
And Real Madrid are right there, breathing down their necks, just 4 points back on 75 points, also from 34 games.
That gap, or lack of a big gap, makes this match absolutely crucial. It's also, believe it or not, the 261st official meeting.
Wow, 261. That's some history. And the head-to-head record shows just how close it usually is.
It really does. Real Madrid have 105 wins, Barcelona slightly behind on 102, and 52 draws. Just always seems tight between them.
Although, looking at this season specifically, the momentum seems to be pretty clearly with one side, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. Barcelona they've had Real Madrid's number recently.
They really have, that big 4-0 league win back in October.
Right. And then the Supercopa final in January, 5-2.
And didn't they just beat them in the Copa del Rey final too?
Yeah.
Last month?
Yep, 3-2 after extra time. So 3 wins for Barcelona in the big matches this season.
Which makes you wonder, what Real Madrid are thinking coming into this one. They need to change something.
Definitely. So, okay, let's really dive into the key things that could swing this match. First, the most obvious point, what this means for the title race.
Well, it's huge. If Barcelona win this match, their lead goes up to 7 points.
7 points,
Oh.
with only 3 games left after this. That feels almost decisive.
It would be a massive step towards them winning the league, yeah. Makes their return to domestic dominance look very likely.
But flip that around. What if Real Madrid managed to get the win?
Then suddenly that gap shrinks to just 1 single point.
Wow. 1 point. That would set up an incredibly tense finish to the season, wouldn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Every single match for both teams would feel like a final. Huge pressure.
And there's another angle here too, right? Regarding Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, exactly. Even if Barcelona only get a draw, just 1 point from this game, then Atletico Madrid, who are currently 12 points behind Barca, would be mathematically out of the title race.
So this game really clarifies things at the top, potentially for multiple teams. Okay, huge implications there. Let's shift gears a bit. Player availability. Suspensions are always a worry at this stage, aren't they?
Definitely. Accumulated yellow cards can bite you hard. Before their last game against Valladolid, Barcelona had a few players walking a tightrope.
Who are we looking at?
Rafinha, Gavi, and Inigo Martinez. All just 1 yellow card away from missing El Clásico.
That's tricky. And we also know Jules Koundé was out injured, right? He'll miss this one.
Yeah, reports say he's out for Valladolid and unlikely to make it back for El Clásico. So that's 1 defender already missing.
So Hansi Flick, the Barca manager, he had a tough balancing act against Valladolid. Get the win, but maybe rest 1 or 2 of those guys.
Exactly. You don't want to lose a key player for the key game because of a booking in the match before.
What about Real Madrid's side? Same kind of worries for Ancelotti.
Pretty similar situation, yeah. Before their match against Celta Vigo, they had Lucas Vazquez, Aurelien Tchouameni, and Dani Ceballos, all 1 yellow away.
And those aren't fringe players either. Tchouameni especially is crucial.
Absolutely. All 3 played in the recent Copa del Rey final.
Yeah.
So Ancelotti had the same dilemma. How much do you risk them against Celta Vigo?
It really puts both managers in a bind, doesn't it? Needing results, but also needing their best players available for the Clásico.
It's a classic end-of-season problem. And for Real Madrid, it's compounded by their defensive injuries.
Ah, right. They've had a few issues there.
Yeah, Alaba, Mendy, Rudiger, all having had surgery recently. Their options are thin at the back.
So losing Tchouameni to suspension would be particularly bad because he can fill in defensively.
Precisely. He offers that versatility. If he's out, Ancelotti might be looking at academy players, maybe someone like Vallejo. It's not ideal for a game like this.
Okay, so suspension risks are definitely a big factor. What about the flip side, any players coming back from injury in time? Any good news?
For Barcelona, potentially yes. Alejandro Balde, their main left back.
Oh, yeah, he's been out for a bit. What's the latest?
Well, the initial hope was maybe the Champions League semi against Inter, but that didn't happen. Now the target seems to be El Clásico.
Getting him back would be a significant boost, wouldn't it? Especially on that left flank.
Huge. With defense, attack, He provides a lot.
Anyone else for Barca potentially returning?
There's midfielder Marcasado.
Right.
He's apparently recovered faster than expected from a knee injury.
Oh, okay. How long is he out?
About 7 weeks. He's back in full training now. Wasn't risked against Inter, but reports suggest he could be on the bench for El Clásico.
Another option for Flick, then. Adds a bit of flexibility.
Yeah, he's versatile. Can play midfield, even filled in at right back for the B team. Good squad depth to have back.
And the main man up front, Lewandowski, there were some whispers about a knock.
Good news there for Barcelona fans. He was cleared of that muscular issue.
Ah, good.
Yeah, he was in the squad for the Inter game, so that strongly suggests he'll be fit and ready to lead the line against Real Madrid.
Okay, that's vital for them. His goals, his experience in these huge games. Crucial.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, injuries and suspensions are definitely adding layers of complexity and intrigue.
Right. Let's switch to tactics then. We saw in that Copa del Rey final, both Flick and Ancelotti aren't afraid to tweak things during a game.
No, definitely not. That final was really interesting tactically, especially how Barcelona started.
What did they do specifically?
They used a shape, a way of playing that really seemed to target Real Madrid's setup.
Especially down Madrid's right side.
Creating overloads, that kind of thing. Exactly. Committing extra players to that flank, pulling Madrid's defense out of shape.
Yeah.
It created quite a few chances for them early on.
But Ancelotti and Real Madrid didn't just let that happen all game, did they? I remember reading analyses saying they changed things significantly.
They did, particularly in the second half. They switched up their pressing, became much more aggressive higher up the pitch.
Trying to stop Barcelona building from the back?
Yeah, putting pressure on Barca's fullbacks, who'd been key in the first half. And deeper, they seemed to go more man-to-man, marking specific players rather than just defending zones.
And it worked. To an extent, helped them get back into the game before Barca eventually won it.
It certainly disrupted Barcelona's rhythm, yeah. Made it a much more even contest.
And now looking ahead to this Clásico, there's talk Ancelotti might be thinking about another tactical shift, maybe involving the attack.
That's the latest buzz, yes. Arda Güler, the young Turkish player.
Right, he played really well against Celta Vigo, didn't he? Goal and assist.
He did. And afterwards, Ancelotti basically hinted he's got a real shot at starting against Barcelona.
Wow. Who would he potentially replace? Rodrigo.
That's the main speculation. Rodrigo's been dealing with a slight injury, maybe not quite firing on all cylinders.
And Güler offers something different.
It seems so. Against Celta, he drifted inside from the right wing, caused problems with his passing, his movement between the lines. Ancelotti might think he can exploit similar areas against Barca's defense.
Fascinating. It's always like a tactical chess match between these two clubs. Now, we know this rivalry. It's famous for being about more than just football, the history, the politics.
Oh, absolutely. You can't really talk about El Clásico without touching on that. It goes way beyond the pitch.
It's tied into Catalan identity versus a more centralized Spanish identity.
Really. Especially going back to the Franco era after the Spanish Civil War. Barcelona became this symbol for Catalonia, for resisting the central government.
And Real Madrid was often seen as the club of the establishment.
That was the perception, yeah. Representing the unified Spanish state. Those historical roots run deep and still linger.
You see it with the flags and the atmosphere at the games. And certain moments in history just poured gasoline on that fire, didn't they? Like the Luis Figo transfer.
Oh, Figo, that was absolutely massive back in 2000.
He wasn't just a player for Barcelona, was he? He was an icon.
He was adored.
Yeah.
Captain, talisman. So for him to cross that divide, join Real Madrid, it was seen as the ultimate betrayal by the Barca fans.
And the reception he got when he went back to Camp Nou, I mean, the stories are legendary. The pig's head.
Yeah, it was incredibly hostile. It just showed the raw emotion, the animosity that exists there.
And then you layer on top of that the incredible player battles we've seen.
Yeah.
The Messi versus Ronaldo era.
That took El Clásico to another stratosphere, didn't it? Two of the greatest ever, constantly competing, driving each other on in these matches. Unforgettable.
Absolutely. And the managers, too. Guardiola versus Mourinho.
Talk about intense. Those battles were tactical, yes, but also so personal and emotional. It added so much spice to the fixture.
So all this history, plus the current high stakes, it really is building up to be another classic encounter, pun intended.
It really is. All the ingredients are there.
Okay, so for people in the U.S. wanting to watch this unfold live, where can they tune in?
Right, so Sunday, May 11th, kickoff is 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time.
Got it.
You can watch it in English on the main ESPN channel. It's also going to be on ESPN Plus Speed, streaming in both English and Spanish.
Okay.
And ESPN Deportes will have the Spanish language broadcast as well.
And having it on the main ESPN channel in English, that's actually quite significant, isn't it? It hasn't happened for a while.
That's right. First time since way back in August 2021, apparently.
Wow. So they're giving it the big treatment.
Yeah. ESPN's planning extensive coverage right from Barcelona, starting the Thursday before the match, May 8th, building up all the way to Sunday.
Makes sense for a game of this magnitude. So, to recap, we've got huge title implications, potential suspension issues, key players possibly returning from injury, fascinating tactical questions for both Flick and Ancelotti, and this incredibly rich, intense historical rivalry as the backdrop.
It's all set up perfectly, really. You've got Barcelona, who've had the edge in recent meetings, and Real Madrid, who absolutely need to win this to keep their title hopes properly alive. The pressure on them is immense.
Right. So here's something for you, the listener, to think about. Given Barca's recent dominance in these head-to-heads and Real Madrid's clear desperation for a victory, do you see the pattern holding? Or could Ancelotti's tactical tweaks, maybe Gudler starting, combined with that sheer pressure on Madrid, actually flip the script and throw this title race wide open again?
Yeah, what's going to be the decisive factor this time?
Exactly. Will it be a key player returning, like Balde for Barca, a tactical surprise? Or just the sheer weight of history and pressure influencing things? What do you think will define this edition of El Clásico? It's going to be fascinating to watch, that's for sure.